In this video, we'll be discussing absolute value equations. From previous discussions, you should have known that absolute value of a real number is the distance from 0 on a number line. So if we're looking at like the absolute value of x equals 2, what could x be? Well, here's 0. Most of us say, well, x could be 2 because 2 is 2 units away. So in this case, x could be 2. But x could also be negative 2 because that's also 2 units away. Distance is always positive, so the absolute value is indeed always positive because it is a distance. So in our first example, we got 2 answers. In our second example, the absolute value of x equals negative 3 is not possible. So this has no solutions. And the reason it has no solutions, the absolute value is a distance, and distance cannot be negative. The absolute value of x equals 0. Looking at our number line up here, how far away from 0 do we have to be for the distance to be 0? Well, we have to be 0 units away. So in this case, there's only one answer. X would equal 0. So in this case, there's one solution. All right, the process here, we want to isolate the absolute value expression. We want the absolute value of an expression equal to a number. Determine the type of solutions that we have. If it's equal to a negative number, there's no solutions. If it's equal to a positive number, we'll split it into 2 equations. The expression equal to the number and the expression equal to the opposite of that number, or negative that number. If it's equal to 0, we'll have one solution. We'll solve for that variable equation be equal to 0. So our first example here, we have it equal to a positive number. So we know we're going to have 2 solutions. 2x plus 5 equals 13. And 2x plus 5 equals negative 13. We subtract 5 from both sides. We get 2x equals 8. And then we divide both sides by 2. We get x equals 4. We want to do the same thing in the other equation. Subtract 5 from both sides. Negative 13 minus 5 is negative 18. Divide both sides by 2. We get x equals negative 9. Example 3, we're going to skip the even examples today. Example 3, we're going to subtract 5 from both sides. 11 minus 5 is 6, so we get 2 times the absolute value of 2x minus 5 equals 6. Divide both sides by 2, so we get the absolute value of 2x minus 5 is equal to 3. That's a positive number, so we're going to end up with 2 solutions. 2x minus 5 equals 3, and 2x minus 5 equals negative 3. Add 5 to both sides. 2x equals 8. Divide by 2 on both sides. X equals 4. Add 5 to both sides. 2x equals 2. And divide by 2 on both sides. And x equals 1. Example 5, we subtract 9 from both sides. We get 2 times the absolute value of 2x minus 5 equals 0. Divide both sides by 2. So we get the absolute value of 2x minus 5 equals 0 divided by 2 is 0. So we get one solution in this case. 2x minus 5 equals 0. Add 5 to both sides. 2x equals 5. And divide by 2. We get x equals 5 over 2. Example 7, we subtract 5 from both sides. We get negative the absolute value of 2x minus 3 equals 2. Again, this is a negative 1, so we got to divide both sides by negative 1. The absolute value of 2x minus 3 is equal to negative 2. We know the absolute value is a distance, and absolute value, since it is a distance, is always positive. And this is equal to a negative number. The absolute value cannot be equal to a negative number, so we have no solution.